The Chevy Bolt is a really great car, but it wasn't for me. I can already feel the heat from this one. Welcome back to the Kobra Pit. Whether you're a longtime viewer or a newer subscriber like Zion Lennox, I see you. I appreciate every single one of you. You could be anywhere in the world, but you're here with me. Now, I know many of you will disagree with me on this. I had the Chevy Bolt for 3 years. It's a wonderful car, but I had to let it go. Now, this is a very hot topic on my channel, but this is not a comparison to any other car out there. I have a whole video dedicated to that. This video is about how I had to let go of my very first EV, the one that I really liked. So the first reason is the disjointed charging infrastructure. Now, I'm not talking about charging at home. I'm talking about out and about. You're on the road somewhere, and there's multiple ways. There's a variety of ways you can charge. A bunch of different companies and so many places and so many options out there. The great part is the accessibility because of the sheer numbers. The bad part is the headache with dealing with so many different ones. So there's so many different companies you can use, and for each one you had to download an app. Now, there are apps out there like PlugShare that can tell you about all the different charging networks out there, but you have to be a member of each one once you get there. Whether it be EVgo or Electrify America, you have to determine which one you're gonna go to, make sure you bring up that app, make sure you're a member. Some of them take you off the street and you can use your credit card, but not too many of them. And the biggest issue I had with it all was there were maybe 2 or 3 at certain locations. So you get there and you may have to wait. I remember one time I was very low on mileage and I went to one at Walmart and there were 2 chargers there. One was in use and the other was out of order. So I drove 4 miles away to another one and I cut it very close on the range. Now, I didn't feel comfortable on longer trips just because of this. I did take a couple, but I felt like I was cutting it a little too closely. And the overall experience is just clunky. The second reason is very subjective, the design. Now remember, you may like the styling of the Chevy Bolt. It's very roomy, very functional, but at a cost. It looks boxy, it looks short, like it's cut off on the end, and it just wasn't for me. It wasn't my style. It's very functional, except for, of course, the front, which is very small, but you know, there's no frunk or anything in there. But overall, adults will fit comfortably in the back seat. 5 adults easily with plenty of room, plenty of storage room in the back in the trunk. But overall, I just didn't like the way it looked. Number 3 was the price. It didn't seem like it was worth it. So I got the Premier model in 2017 and the cost was $43,000. At that price, you could get so much more with other manufacturers. And I know you can find many incentives out there that will lower the price to the mid-20s. And if that was the case, then yeah, maybe I would have stuck with it. But here's the thing. I did a 3-year lease to even see if I could live the life of an EV owner, to see how it was on a day-to-day. So I didn't want to dive all in. So I tried it out for 3 years, but at the end of that 3 years, I had to decide, was I gonna buy it? Was I gonna lease another one or buy another one? Now, I know leasing to buying isn't the most financially sound decision, but I knew long-term, I was thinking big picture. I need to test it out. And at the end of that, I say, you know what? It's not worth the price of me buying it out or even spending another $25,000 to get a new one with other things on the market that were different. And just because they're so much less expensive now, that kind of drops the value of it a little bit. Number 4, I wanted more miles. I had 238 miles and it has increased, but I needed something. At that time, it was great. In 2017, it was great. But at 2020, when it was time to re-up, I didn't want to get a car with that little range in 2020, where there's other cars out there that has more range. So I was thinking long term. And this was big because of the frustrations I had with the road charging. So if I had a little more range, it wouldn't bother me as much, but I needed a little bit more squeezed out of it. Number 5 is the lack of support from Chevy. And I mean like software updates and things like that. I know all car manufacturers don't have software updates, but I did hear that the Chevy Bolt had one, but you had to go into the dealer or the service center to get it or something like that. It was not intuitive. It was not easy. And I didn't want like huge changes, because for the most part, the Chevy Bolt is like your traditional car, but in the EV form. But it'll be nice to update things here and there, maybe with the menu system or with terrain, something, right? But I didn't get any. I heard that few people have, but it wasn't widespread. Now, it's not necessary, but it would be nice if you think about having a car for 10 years that, I don't know, give me some software updates. Now, number 6 should be changing soon, the lack of autonomous features. Now, I know Chevy has the Super Cruise coming out, and it's gonna supposedly be game-changing with its LiDAR, mapping data, combined with the driver monitoring system, but it's not here yet, and it definitely wasn't gonna be on my 2017. And it's gonna be so infantile. It's gonna be so new. It's gonna have to take a lot of time to mature. And that's not something I really know that I'm ready for right now. Maybe down the line, I might get Chevy's newest 2025 Chevy Bolt with Super Cruise that's ready to go, and who knows. But at this moment, it's not worth it getting in, because I know it's gonna be a lot of hiccups down the line. And number 7 combines everything: the lack of autonomous features, the lack of software updates, and the look of the car. The Chevy Bolt is just not fun. Wait, let me take that back. The best part about the Chevy Bolt was flying off the line, because no, it's not faster than some of the other EVs out there in its class, but just the fact that people did not expect it to be fast. Right? Someone's trying to cut you off and you're trying to maneuver safely, and the only way to do that is to accelerate. Boom! You shock some people. That part was fun. Okay, I have to take that back. But other than that, no. Everything else was boring, from the interior to the exterior. Having that for a longer time, it's just like any other car for the most part. Now, I do recommend this to many people, family members and friends, because, some people are more geared towards that. That is, the style of some of you out there, and there's nothing wrong with that. But for me, it just wasn't enough. I needed a little more fun, exhilaration, thrill. This car didn't really have any flair. Once again, it was a really great car, and many people love it, and I really did enjoy it for the most part. But it's not for me. You always have to find out what works best for you. So just do your research, find out what you really want in a vehicle. And if it's just a daily commuter, you don't want to think too much of it, and you'll save lots of money by getting a Chevy Bolt, go for it, But it just wasn't for me. Thanks for watching. Don't forget, Kobra told you. All right, y'all, see you on the next one.